Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today. I am Sophia Lucia Parola with Garden State Film Festival. It is the 22nd annual Garden State Film Festival, March 21st to March 24th, 2024. We can watch 200 films screening in Asbury Park and Cranford, New Jersey, across 8 venues. One of the films you can check out there is a short documentary called Tim. Here to talk with me about this film is the writer, director, producer, and star of this film, Jake Pino and Tim Pino. Hello.
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 Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking the time out to talk to me, and congratulations on making this film and getting accepted into Garden State Film Festival.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. Before we get into this awesome interview, I would love for you both to introduce yourselves. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and then tell us about the short documentary, Tim.
So my name's Jake, and I made so I'm going to Montclair. So I'm at Montclair State University. I just started college there, actually not too long ago. And I just recently graduated from Bridgewater Raritan High School. And so that's a little bit about me. And this is my dad's Tim.
I'm Tim. I'm Tim. My son's really into filmmaking, and he came to me with a project. He's like, "Hey, did you want to be part of it?" So I was like, "Sure." I definitely encourage him, and he's really good at what he does. So and he seemed to have a lot of fun doing it, as I did too. So I'm happy to be here. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. That was definitely one of my questions was, did we have fun or did we hate working together? So we'll elaborate on that later, but you kind of touched upon it. So this film is about you, Tim. Can you explain a little bit about what this short documentary talks about?
Pretty much my son, he wanted to touch on my law enforcement career, which I thought was pretty cool because a lot of it, he was too little to remember. So I thought it was pretty cool him going back into my career and just picking out certain highlights and different things that we were able to accomplish. I was a canine handler, a big part of my career. So he wanted to do some, background on myself and my old canine partner that lived with us when he was real little and stuff like that at the house and everything. So it was just really interesting. And I had a lot of fun rehashing old memories, and I had even more fun being able to rehash it with my son getting to know all those stories as well. Cause he didn't know all of them. So it was pretty good.
Wow. That is so awesome. Jake, what made you want to even make a short documentary about your dad and his life in law enforcement? How did this come about?
So I was taking a class in high school called American Film Studies. So it was basically where we watch some movies and then we kind of analyze them, how the director shot this or kind of what special effects they used. And then at the end of the class, we had to highlight a little final project where we make our own little short film. So wanted to probably make a documentary. So and then I was trying to come up with ideas. I was like, maybe I could do one on my dad. So I asked him, and he was like, yeah, he was totally down to do that. So then we got to work. I did some research on his career. I Googled his name and stuff. I was doing a whole ton of research, and then I found out a lot of stuff I actually didn't know, which was really interesting. I was like, oh wow.
Wow.
So yeah, picked parts of that, and then shot everything, put it all together, and yeah.
How long did that process take when you first decided, okay, I'm going to make this documentary, and then looking for that footage, gathering all the interviews, pre-production, filming, and editing? How long was that entire process?
I'd say it took I'd say about 2 weeks, I'd say, to find everything. So I found everything in a couple days, then put it all together, the timeline of it, of how I wanted to go about it. And then we found a day where I just happened to didn't have school, and my dad, he actually took me to his work, and I interviewed him, filmed it, and then I was able to edit it pretty quickly all together. And yeah.
So you said you went to him, you're down right away to do this. There was no hesitation on your end, Tim? You were just like, yeah.
No, listen, I thought it was great. I always encourage him to do this, and he's a modest young man here. This is a guy who at 17 years old enlisted in the United States Army. So he's already done his military commitment, and he really enjoys his filmmaking. So when he said he wanted to do it, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely in with it. The one thing we do laugh about, though, he did some filming when I was driving. I didn't know he was filming me, so that was pretty good. So, then he told me after the fact. So I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah. So
Ask for
he's
forgiveness
learning quick.
later. Get all the I love that.
Yeah. So we had a blast. We actually did. We bonded over it. It was a lot of fun, and I'm glad he gets a little bit better understanding of what I did for a lot of years. I still doing it, but it was good, and yeah, I think we came out of it even enjoying it. So it was good.
Yeah.
We
I definitely want to hear a little bit more about that process, especially because you mentioned earlier you learned a lot of stuff you didn't know. So, from Jake, I'll hear from you first. What was that like? Like hearing your dad tell these stories, some things you didn't know, some things you did know. What was that like for you?
So yeah, when I was coming across stuff, I was like, I didn't really know he did this. So then I was like, wow, I live with this person that did all this stuff, and he, be honest, he kind of like he's a little low key about it, like doesn't really
Uh-huh.
talk too much about it. But then once I like actually like knew it, I was like, oh wow, this is actually really nice, and so it was just really cool just throughout the whole process, like making, just like doing the research and stuff and filming it. I was really excited.
Impressed with your
Yeah.
dad, safe to say,
I
right?
really was.
You both
Yeah.
seem to be very humble. And Tim, what was it like for you to rehash all these stories to your son? And
it made me feel old because there was a lot of them. But no, it was good. I think it's important for any son to know what their parents do. I know growing up in my household, I always had interest in what my dad did, and it was good. So I just thought it was an opportunity for us to go back in time a little bit and talk about some things that he knew and some things that maybe he didn't know, and it was good. It just gives him a better understanding of who I am and probably a part of who he is, right? So we all want to know where we came from and where we're going. So I'm just excited. Like I said, he just seeing how much he enjoyed making it, and yeah, it was pretty honored just to be part of it. The fact that he wanted to do it on me is very humbling. So it's yeah, we had a good time with it, and I'm excited for him, and I'm glad the Garden State Film Festival took notice of it. So thank you. Yeah.
Me too. And it's huge because so much of it has to do with New Jersey. You're a police officer in New Jersey, right?
That is correct. Yeah.
And I don't want to give anything away. I don't know if you want to talk about the law, but it's just there's some awesome stuff in the film that really pertains to New Jersey, and it's more fitting that it's screening in Asbury Park, New Jersey. So I think it's
phenomenal. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I think some people learn some good things about. I don't want to tip our hand either, but like learn some of the positives with law enforcement. It seems like we're only in the news when there's some negative stuff. So, but there's a lot of good positives too. So, hopefully people will come away with this with a good roundabout. It's not all bad, right? So there is some good stuff, and I think Jake brought that to light with the way he portrayed it and the way he set it up.
Jake, I'd love to hear about, we mentioned that you got some of the footage and you were going through research. We see some news footage in this from, I'm guessing, years before, obviously, you made this. What was it like getting all this footage? Was it difficult? What was that process like?
So, like I said, I kind of just like Googled, and like I was trying to find like what could go with, like the time frame of it. And then when Downer's Law was going into effect, I know that was a pretty big deal around the state. So, and I did like remember, like as a child, like I remember my mom showing me that my dad was on the news. So I was trying like my hardest to find that, and then thankfully I did, and I was like really relieved. I was like, oh wow.
It was pretty smooth. You didn't run into many problems getting the footage?
Not really, no. Yeah.
Awesome. And what would you say was the hardest part of this process and the best part of this process? Do you guys have any opinion on that?
I'd say the best part was probably just spending time with like my dad, and my sister was also helping me with it too. Just spending time like as a family together for like a couple days, just like getting this all done. Really just brought us pretty close. And I'd say probably the hardest part was I guess just editing, because I kept like having like it was just like I kept having like a blockade of like what to do and stuff. It was like a little bit like writer's block for editing, I guess you could say.
Right.
But
I hear that a lot with people editing documentaries. It's kind of the hardest part because you have so much footage and there's a lot of ways to tell the story. So it seems like it was a difficult part for you too.
Yeah, it was just trying to put it all together and stuff. Yeah.
Did you have any, I mean, I'm sure that was another great experience, which you mentioned earlier, working with your son and your daughter too. Did you have any hardest part for you, Tim, or favorite parts?
Favorite parts were like the outtakes. So we had some funny outtakes, and I was like, put them in there at the end. Like, let's make people laugh a little bit. I think it's important to laugh. No, we had fun. Like
Mhm.
as a parent, right? You're always telling your kids sort of what to do. So it was pretty neat having him tell like me, like, hey, this is what we're gonna do next. This is what.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool following direction from him and just seeing how excited he was and seeing his game plan, how he was setting it all up. So it was just a fun experience. So we had a blast with it. So I joke with him. I'm like, all right, Tim too, let's do
Yeah.
do a second one. But
I'm
no, we
expecting a
had fun.
sequel, yes.
Yeah, no, we had fun. We did. And the bonding thing I think was great. And yeah, it was just we laughed a lot during it, and we're still laughing when we watch it, and it's just fun.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of him. So it's good stuff.
Absolutely. And Jake, you mentioned you're in Montclair now. I know so many filmmakers from Montclair State University. A lot of friends of mine, a lot of them, their films are featured in Garden State Film Festival over the years. Are you continuing passion in film? Is there future projects for you?
Yeah, I am like script, like I'm writing like a couple scripts of future film projects that I'm gonna make. So yeah,
Okay.
so pretty
So we could
excited about it.
expect something. Did you learn anything during making this project that you will take with you on your next film or next projects?
Just you got like just a lot of experimentation. Like you sometimes you just gotta like try and like take some risks. Like maybe it might not look good, but in the end, hope in the end like it'll look nice. Yeah, just like just experiment a little bit and try and get out of like my comfort zone a little bit because I'm usually what I do. I just do like little quick edits and stuff. But this one I actually like was had to be patient, take my time with it because
Right.
usually I tend to rush things. So that was like kind of like a big thing for me. Just take your time, be patient, and then you'll get great results. So
Absolutely. Wonderful advice. Tim, as a father who clearly supports your children's passions, any advice for you in your career and during just your experience and working with your son making this film?
Advice for him?
Oh, yeah, I did not ask that really well.
No, I didn't
Advice
know.
in
I didn't know.
general, maybe for other parents who have kids who are with passions, or just advice.
Yeah, listen,
Yeah,
as a
right.
parent, I think it's important. Listen, it's important to support our children, right? And we want to hope that they make good decisions. Life's not perfect. We go down a lot of different roads, and as parents, you try to keep them on good roads, right? So listen, for all the other parents that their kids are involved in this, patience is a big thing, and creativity, and letting them go outside their comfort zone. I think that's important with something like this. To really express who they are, and with and that portrays on the screen, right? It's definitely the way he takes all this footage and knowledge and spins it all together and sort of tells a quick story with it. Yeah, it's definitely it's something that we're really proud about. All of us, myself, my wife, his sister, we're all proud of him. The dog, we're all proud of him. So.
Yes, absolutely. And are we going to be at the Garden State Film Festival this year to watch Tim on the big screen?
Yeah, we hope to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that when it's airing? What we're seeing on the bottom of the
Oh,
screen now?
yes. And I'll definitely, when we about to wrap up, and I'm going to tell everyone how they can see Tim. But I just want to know first how you heard about Garden State Film Festival, and how it feels to have this screening this year.
I saw like a post on like a Facebook, so I heard about it, and then I told him about it. He was like, "Hey, if you want, we should definitely submit." So I was like, "All right, we'll do that." And then yeah, we're here now. So
and one of my friends, she does a couple of movies, so she's been on the Garden State Film Festival. Heather Brattain.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. We all know
Long-time friend. And in fact, Heather has met the canine involved in his story many a times. She remembers the dog for sure.
I hope she got an autograph or
Yeah.
something licked by him or something.
Yeah. I've known her for a long time.
Amazing. Yeah, let me definitely tell everyone how they can watch Tim. It will be playing Sunday, March 24th in the film block 9:15 to 11:45 a.m. at the Berkeley Hotel in the Kingsley Ballroom. Hopefully we get to meet you guys there. Congratulations again, and thank you so much for making Tim and taking the time out to talk to us about it.
Of course. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you again.
Absolutely. I'll see you at the festival, hopefully.
Yeah,
Definitely.
We'll see you guys.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.